All right, sticking in New York with Eric Yaverbaum joining us. Had it on before. You might remember Eric talking about everything social media. In this case, he is the associate publisher, of course, of Social Media Mags, and you can find him at ericopr.com. And Eric's here to talk about Facebook etiquette, 10 essentials of Facebook etiquette. Eric, you'd have been great to have on before the Trayvon Martin verdict on Saturday. I think it might have been a perfect segment. Of course, none of us knew it was going to be out that fast, but I have to tell you, watching Facebook the last few days, no matter where you stand, and we're not taking a stance here, you have to admit there were a lot of people on both sides who were probably breaking a few of your etiquette rules, right?
Indeed. I talk a lot about politics on television, and you know what they say about, at the dinner table, don't talk politics, and I do it for a living.
Right.
Social media is exactly like the real world. People have access to thousands of people. I have thousands of friends on Facebook. I can annoy thousands of friends if I want to, and they'll stop listening. And in my case, actually, I think initially in the early years, that's exactly what I did. I overposted. Don't overpost. Nobody cares that much about you. And Facebook is, and people don't realize there's a lot of different functions on Facebook. In my case, I have a personal page that's for my personal friends who actually couldn't care less that I'm on TV talking about Facebook. I also have a professional page. On the professional page, like this segment, it'll be on there. People are interested in what my perspective is, about Facebook there. But there's different ways to use different functionalities of Facebook, and you have to be, you should be very clear on them. I mean, people, when a tragedy strikes, be quiet. I mean, unless you have something really heartfelt to say, you're personally involved, nobody wants to hear your opinion about it. I mean, what you're basically going to do is create a lightning storm that you don't want.
Yeah, in fact, we were showing a graphic up there a moment ago. We'll go back to that right now if we can, and I'll read off some of the etiquette that is basically suggested to people. Everything from one, stop asking people to like your updates. That's the one that's kind of pretty annoying.
Yeah, but
don't
it's not. You want to know something about
mentioned.
that? That's not only annoying. Everybody has this reverence for the like button. If somebody likes what you have to say, let them say it. Don't ask for people to say that.
Right. Number 5, don't be patronizing. We saw a lot of that over the weekend with people talking about Trayvon Martin. We have 5 more after that, too. There's a fine line between real-time marketing and brand jacking. Keep it positive. It's funny, I posted something on mine. You talk about having a personal page and a public page. I actually am monitoring my public page right now. It's, if you happen to care, if you're on Facebook, Fox News, Adam Housley. And I have to tell you, I posted something positive, and I still get people hammering me saying, you're just saying that because you work at Fox News. It's like, what are you talking about? I just posted something positive.
Hey, that's the glory that comes.
Break.
That's what comes with fame. You want to be on television, people will critique. But here's the thing, if you think about, again, in real life, who do you want to be around? The person who is optimistic and positive all the time, or the person who's a pessimist and negative all the time?
Right.
I'd rather hang out with optimistic, positive people. It's the same thing in social media.
I'm with you. Now, I'm monitoring this right now, Eric, and on our chat, we have two that are kind of interesting that we bring in here, even though this is not Facebook, it's our live chat. One, Memphis Slimbo says, I would suggest the Fox News attempt to prioritize this chat. We have a live hearing on a major IRS scandal, and the chat is about Royal Baby. Come on, you're the last hope for reasonable news reporting. Well, right now, actually, the chat is about technology and news, and actually it's bringing in what's happening today in the news. So
that's right, and that's the thing that people need to realize is that the information that we all get, it comes from a variety of sources. It's not just the television set anymore. It's not just the internet. It's not just your morning newspaper. It's a combination of them all. And the news flow, they all fit together.
They do. And one more question. Another person, Cutie07, commented in and says, what about Twitter etiquette? Well, obviously, Twitter etiquette, same type of thing. Over the weekend, again, I posted something positive, and I had people at home don't know my wife's black. So the reason why I mentioned that is I got a couple of people that made some very rude racial comments. Coincidentally, they were minorities. And I commented back and said, what are you doing? I mean, you are complaining about it, and you said that, and then all of a sudden I got barraged with verbal assaults and cursing, and so right away, bam, their etiquette was gone so I could block them. But I brought that up because someone asked about Twitter etiquette. Same type of thing. I mean, you have a very shorter form there, but still, you need to be able to follow the right rules.
Well,
correct?
right, you do, and if you don't, nobody will care what you say. I mean, I have about 20,000, give or take, followers on Twitter. They're interested in what I'm saying. As soon as they stop being interested, they'll stop following me. I mean, that's the thing about everything in social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, I mean, you name it. You can very tangibly see what people are interested in and what they're not, just by the numbers. And the numbers are transparent to everybody.
Right. It is. It's a numbers game. And the one thing I mentioned to my wife, who has a lot more followers than I do, I say, she sometimes gets abused as well for certain things. And I say, you know what? If you're true to yourself and you be yourself and you don't over-promote stuff and just be who you normally are, you're going to gain more than you're going to lose. And that always happens, it seems like, no matter whether you're Facebook, Twitter, or whether you don't do any of that, you're just out in the general public.
Yeah, well, I think generally speaking, people like people that are honest, have integrity, who are genuine, who are transparent, and social media brings all of those things to bear. I mean, those of us who are on TV, those of us who are in newspapers, those of us who are public figures, there's always going to be critique. The way that I look at it is, if people aren't criticizing me, I'm not getting anybody's attention. I don't expect everybody to love everything that I say. I don't expect everybody to agree with every opinion that I have. And all of those things they're all amplified by social media. I mean, in my 3-decade career, I've gone from mainstream press, which I've done my whole career, to also social media. And now a lot of other people see things that might not have seen it before. I take it as a compliment when people vehemently disagree with the perspective that I have. It means people are paying attention.
All right, Eric Yaverbaum in New York, always good talking to you. Always have some great insight.
Always great to be
very
here.
Very pertinent today, of course. Absolutely. You can find him at Real Yaverbaum on Twitter, of course. So if you want to test your Twitter etiquette, you might find him there. He also is, of course, the associate publisher of Social Media Magazine. We appreciate it every time Eric comes on. Thanks again.
Thank you so much.